Welcome friends, to the first entry into my Killing Floor 3 guide series. To kick us off, I'm going to be talking about something close to my heart. Yes, we're going to talk about movement. As something of a game-to-game movement connoisseur, I thought I'd be so kind as to share what expertise I've gathered for Killing Floor in the past 4 days. Now, guys from stream, I know what you're going to say. Haze, what expertise? You can't even... Shut up. No one asked you. You know what? Why don't you go... In this series, I'll be giving you the information and advice to get good. And as movement is fundamental to every class, mastering it will make you a better player than learning any specific class or weapon. Now, Tripwire has actually introduced some quirky mechanics in Killing Floor 3 that make the movement slightly interesting and manipulatable in a pretty advantageous way. So, in this short video, I'm going to cover the movement basics, map movement and combat movement. Let's go! So the movement basics are sprint, slide, dash and jump. Sprint can be held or toggled in any direction in a frontal 180 degrees, so that's forward, sideways or diagonally in between. Slide is just using crouch while sprinting, can be used in forward or forward diagonal directions. Dash can be used in any direction, whether sprinting or not, with the exception of sprinting forwards. If you want to dash forwards, you have to stop sprinting. Jumping, I mean, it's a jump. Other than the fact that sliding works immediately after landing, whether from a fall or a jump, there's not really much to it. And of course, we've got the melee weapons. Everyone knows you run faster with a knife.
Everyone runs faster with a knife!
For overall movement speed, there's two main sequences depending on how you bind. If you're using default keybinds, just sliding into jumping into sliding again and so forth is much faster than just sprinting. Then, if you're happy to, and I couldn't recommend this anymore, separate out your sprint and dash keybinds, which are the same by default for some reason. Once you do this, you can dash into sprint slide. To execute this properly, you'll need to dash, then hold sprint as you're dashing, so that when the dash ends, you can hit slide, and then as you're sliding, release sprint, so that at the end of the slide, you can dash again. Because sprint will stop you dashing forward, but you need sprint up to be able to slide. It sounds more complicated than it is, but this is the fastest tech, and it also opens up the door to the following combat movement tech. Nearly everything I discuss from here on will require you to set separate binds for sprint and dash, which I highly recommend you do. It'll make you a much better player on any class and it'll carry you through this game. So first and foremost, get used to dashing. Dash can be used to swerve projectiles, swerve around boss strikes, move you backwards from melee range to create distance, and just generally get you out of harm's way on a very short cooldown. Then, once you have your dashing down to a T, you can start to incorporate the slides. The really strong thing about slides is that once the input has been pressed, you'll maintain momentum in the direction until the animation is over. What this means is once you've pressed slide, you can turn and continue shooting at enemies whilst travelling in the direction that you originally slid. Once you start to combine the dashes with the slides, you effectively stay out of the melee range of enemies permanently, whilst nearly always being able to face them, like demonstrated in this glorious gameplay you're witnessing. A few notes regarding dash and slide is you should be dashing upstairs, as if you try and slide during the stairs, when you get to the top, it'll hold you in a locked crouch position. And if you try and dash, it'll eat the dash. It's really annoying. So you have to uncrouch and then you can dash again. So make sure you're dashing upstairs and then you're sliding downstairs and ramps, because if you slide down them, it'll just continue until the bottom. It's great. Whee! You can slide into upwards ramps, just make sure you don't do the slide input on the ramp. Oh, and also, if you try and use the slide whilst going backwards, it will also crouch lock you. Yay. And so far, that's it. You never know what you'll discover when it comes to movement tech in games, but for the time being, that's what we know. If you want to see more Killing Floor 3 content, make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you want to know below, and in the meantime, I'll be perfecting the art of Zed Purging. I'll see you next time.